Good day to you. Welcome to Citadel Academy. In today's lesson, we'll be looking at the increment and decrement operators in Java. Without further ado, let's get into the lesson for today. So the increment operator and the decrement operator, we say they are for incrementing and decrementing a value by a variable, rather by one. So let's say we have an integer, for instance. Let's say int num1 equal to, let's say, 3, and int num2 equal to, let's say, 5. Okay, now let's say system.out.print. So we see here the value of num1 is 3 and the value of num2 is 5. So let me see num1 equal to num2 plus plus. Okay, and then let's say system.out.print num1. Let's save this, Control S, and then open up your terminal. So after opening up your terminal, let's compile this. So Java increments and decrements dot Java. So here we say Java increment and decrement. Enter. And then you see here it gives us what? 5. Let's say now system.out.print num2. Okay, system.out.print num2. Now save this. Then I want to show you something. After you compiling it, you run it. Now you see something here. It says int num1 system.out.print num1 is equal to what? 5, and then it print num2 to be num2 here to be equal to what? 6. Now this is what we did. We are trying to equate num1, this num1 here, we are trying to equate it to what? Num2. We equated it. I know somebody will say, but we said plus plus. This plus plus simply means it will only add 1 to the value. Okay, now this plus plus here, I know somebody will say we have plus plus here, but why didn't num1 increase to 6 since the value of num2 is 5? So it's supposed to increase 1 here, that's making it 6, and then print it out here. But it actually didn't printed it out. It was when we printed out num2 that it gives us 6. Whenever you are using the plus plus, we have what we call postfix and prefix. Okay, now we are using the plus plus as a postfix. Now in this case, what does postfix means? Postfix means be after the variable. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here in essence is that in whichever case, okay, if we put the plus plus after the variable, it means that that operation will only effect after we've performed this operation. So it's just more of like saying we can remove this plus plus here, okay, and it will still give us 5, but num2 will also give us 5 if we recompile it and run it. Okay, so what we are supposed to do, if you want to increase this num1 by 1, what you are supposed to do is for you to use the pre-increment operation. Okay, so yes, you can decide to say plus plus here. Okay, so let's come here and remove this one. Okay, what we did is that we are trying to tell it, before you assign this value number 2 to this number 1, add this number 2 by 1. When you add this number 2 by 1, then you assign it to this value. Okay, now let's save it. Okay, and let's recompile it. Okay, let's run it. Now you see it gives us what? 6 6. We see here that, just as I explained, it will first calculate the number of num2, the value of num2 rather, and then it will add 1 to it. Okay, it will add 1 to it, and then it will assign the entire value it got here to this num1. Okay, and then after that, num2 already has now been increased by 1, so it will still continue to use the increased value of num2. Okay, so if using the postfix operation is the same thing. Okay, it's the same thing when we use the postfix operation for it. It's just trying to say assign this value num2 to this variable num1. Okay, and then what it's now saying here is, after you've assigned this, you should now come and increase this num2 here, increase it by what? 1. Okay, that's just what it's trying to say in essence. So whether it's subtraction, you can decide to do subtraction. Okay, subtract. So if you do this, let's save this and then let's run it. Now let's run it. You see here it gives us num1 is equal to what? 5. That means we assign the value 5 to what? Num1. And then after assigning the value 5 to num1, we decrease the value of num2 by 1. That's why it came here and say num2 is equal to what? 4. Okay, so that's how it is. If you also use the prefix increment, save this and then recompile it, run it now, and then you see here it gives us what? 4 4. Okay, we are trying to say um subtract 1 from num2. After subtracting it, assign it to what? Num1. Then since the value of num2 has been decremented, it will what? Continue to use the value of num2. So that's just what the increment and the decrement operators do in Java. Okay, so like I said earlier, we have the pre-increment operation and then we also have the post-increment operation. So whichever one you want to use, you just have to understand how they are used. If the minus comes before, that's pre-increment. If the minus come after, it is what? Post-increment. So that is it for today. I hope you are able to understand the increment and decrement operation in Java. Thank you so much. Do have a nice day. God bless you.